Experts predict up to 1,500 individual private flights in and out of an airfield serving Swiss ski resort for the World Economic Forum. Well, these are the people telling you to get an electric stove, get rid of your lawnmower, and drive scooters and live in a shipping container.
Huh. That's the Vatican for shit libs.
It's amazing. So I got to. That's in Switzerland. Switzerland may be neutral, but it certainly isn't carbon neutral. Am I right? Come on. And here's Barack Obama. He's given a speech to Africans, and he's going to tell them that they can't have air conditioners or cars. The guy who flew there on a private jet.
He's actually the most honest one so far.
So yeah, you're actually right. So watch this.
Ultimately, if you think about all the youth that everybody's mentioned here in Africa, if everybody's raising living standards to the point where everybody's got a car and everybody's got air conditioning and everybody's got a big house, well, the planet will boil over. Ultimately, if you think about...
So this is called climate change imperialism. In other words, only developed countries can have nice things, and guys like him. The guy has 3 mansions. If everybody's going to have air conditioning, a car, and a big house, the world's going to boil over. That's why I have all 3 of those things. He has all 3 of those things. Plus, he has private jets.
Jimmy, I get carbon offsets by having my gay chef killed.
Yeah. I don't think he actually owns a private jet, but everywhere he flies is probably on a private jet. He doesn't fly.
Jimmy?
You think he flies commercial?
Jimmy, look, a lot of Africans, you can't have a house, and a lot of you are going to have to be used in medical experiments by Bill Gates. So it's always with the earth will boil over.
So, this is amazing.
Ultimately, if you think about all the youth that everybody's mentioned here in Africa, if everybody's raising living standards to the point where everybody's got a car and everybody's got air conditioning and everybody's got a big house, well, the planet will boil over.
Well, why don't you well, first of all, here it is. He's got 3 stunning homes just in the United States, Barack Obama.
Yeah. Well, he said everybody. It doesn't mean him, obviously. With a president's not supposed to be wildly rich and have a Netflix contract when he's done.
Here's his house on Martha's Vineyard. He bought it for almost $12 million. Look at that.
Oh, look at all those trees heating up the atmosphere, not helping.
People telling other people that they have to sacrifice for climate change, but then they do it, the most extravagant thing, right in your face.
Wow, it's like they could get away with absolutely anything and you would just call it a conspiracy theory no matter what because you're dumb.
I mean, he's the elite and they love wagging their royalty right in your fucking face. And that's the point of royalty, actually, to be able to do what others can't, while flagrantly displaying contempt for their own subjects, because that's what this is.
While you fight about a legitimate self-defense case in the subway with these assholes like maniacs on the street, this is where they live, and then they just rile people up with dumb identity politics shit.
He's got 2 more houses, one in Chicago and one in an exclusive neighborhood in Washington, D.C. Plus, he has another one, the awesome Hawaiian mansion nearing completion. Everybody, this is Obama's mansion in Maui.
I leave the AC on in all the houses because when I arrive, I like it to be nice and crisp.
This is real.
Not to mention,
This well could be where Barack and Michelle Obama will spend their retirement years. Assuming, of course, that they will ever fully retire. It sits on 3 acres in the community of Waimanalo on the island of Oahu. Oh, that's Oahu, not Maui. They bought the property back in 2015 for $8.7 million. So he's got a $12 million house on Martha's Vineyard. He's got another one in D.C., another one in Chicago, and now he's got this one on Oahu.
It's not from corruption. That is a normal way for presidents to. That's just stuff they should have.
That's just stuff they should have.
Yeah. But don't forget back when he was in office and we found out from WikiLeaks that he spent over $60,000 having pizza and hot dogs flown in.
Yes.
Wow, I'd almost been some good pizza and hot dogs for 60 grand. That's more than Kamala probably spent on pizza and hot dogs, and she spent a lot.
And if a volcano goes off in Hawaii, the Obamas will show up like superheroes and blow it right back down in the hole. This is Obama territory now, Kurt.
Yeah. I figured they just go in their underground base, maybe take along some spare pizza and hot dogs to get through the overworld bad times.
So the people telling you that you got to live in shipping containers in 15-minute cities, drive electric scooters, and eat the bugs that hit you in the face are living like that. This is how they're living. This is how they're living. And I buy carbon offsets. So if you thought that it was actually killing the planet and it was dangerous, you would stop doing activities that cause climate change. But they're not. These people, do these people look like they give an F about climate change? Do these people look like they give an F about climate change? Does this guy look like he gives an F about climate change?
Yeah, well, Jimmy, you and your petty needs to live are really what they think is killing the planet. Your petty needs of shelter and climate control inside of a house and a car to get around to your job. It's really your guys' fault. And let's face it, let's look at all the things that have happened over the last 10 years. It's all to make sure there's less of you. Yep. So we're going to sterilize your kids by any means necessary. We're going to make you take experimental gene therapies, all kinds of fun stuff.
All right, over to Steph.
Okay, thank you, Jimmy. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Vienticus Prime, everything's a scam, everything's a lie, everything's hypocrisy, so I don't comply. My_war, always fun to watch another episode of Clarissa Explain It All.
Yeah.
Right, Clarissa Ward. Bradley Dose, but the only way anything ever happens is if everyone watching this show does an effing thing about it. Bradley Dose, Goo81, thank you, Goo. Angie Hermit, going on a first date tomorrow night. Think I should go conspiracy and just get that out of the way. I told her we will either way hit it off or she will have a funny story for Monday at work. Angie Hermit, good luck on that one. P.W. Walker, I bet HTS grabbed a rando off the street, told them to impersonate a prison, or else HTS kills his family. P.W. Walker. Goo81, thank you, Goo81. Nina Kant, thank you, Nina Kant. Big Sides, thank you, Big Sides. Hemcar, if Kurt liked Transamerica, he will like Jim Keith's Alex Constantine and Dr. Colin Ross's books if he hasn't read them. Hemcar.
Get a load of this story.
Okay, back to Jimmy. Get a load.
So they locked up this woman.
Oh, yes.
Because she threatened an insurance company by saying delayed, denied, disposed. You think I'm kidding? A Lakeland woman was charged Tuesday after police said she ended a call to an insurance company with the words delayed, denied, depose. In an arrest affidavit, the Lakeland Police Department said officers were contacted by the FBI.
I bet.
On Tuesday, December 10th, regarding an alleged threat made over the phone.
You could openly say, don't miss next time shooting at Trump, and you would have no problems. Yeah. You might get kicked out of Tenacious D at the worst.
So Brian Boston, 42, had reportedly placed a call to Brianna Boston, who's 42, reportedly placed a call to Blue Cross Blue Shield regarding recent medical insurance claims she was denied. The entire phone call was recorded, according to the affidavit. Near the end of the call, investigators said that the woman could be heard stating, delay, deny, depose, you people are next.
Yeah.
Near the end of the call, investigators said Boston could be heard. The first three words are similar to those written on the ammunition that a gunman used in the killing of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson in New York City last week. Hey, what I want to note is that the guy who wrote this, by a woman, Sierra Rains. Sierra Rains, the writer of this article, never bothers to find out what the medical treatment she was denied coverage for are. Guess that doesn't matter. I guess that doesn't matter, huh?
Yeah, this is human life we're talking about, Jimmy. Protecting human life.
The affidavit noted the similarities between the incidents, stating that those words have been nationally recognized as a phrase directed against insurance companies. She's been in this world long enough that she certainly should know better, but not the insurance company for denying her health care.
Yeah, I think they should know better. They might hear that a lot.
Maybe they should know better. You can't make threats like that in the current environment that we live in and think that I'd like to see this go to a jury trial.
Yeah, I would too. Because I don't even think people want to convict that. Dude, I tried talking about that guy last night. I mean, people just are cheering at the mention of the name Luigi Mangione. 2 girls and 1 guy go, he's hot. I didn't even say anything about him yet.
Well, you know what I say? He's got killer abs.
Ha! Nice joke.
I mean, this is he should get a Grammy because he had the #1 hit of the year.
So she's been in this world long enough that she certainly should know better that you can't make threats like that in the current environment that we live in and think that you're not going to follow up and that we're not going to follow up and put you in jail. So that's the sheriff.
Well, yeah, unless she's not going to be alive much longer from not getting chemo.
Right. And
you got nothing to lose, do you?
And that shows you once again, the cops aren't there to help protect you. They're here to protect corporations and capital. That's who he's protecting. He's not doing something to try to get that woman health care that she already paid for.
This is not a poor person. This is not some loser.
There's somebody who
that
has
didn't
health
buy
care.
Health care.
There's someone who has health insurance.
Blue Cross.
Police made contact with her at her home in Lakeland, where she reportedly admitted to using those words during the call, telling detectives that healthcare companies played games and deserved karma from the world because they are evil. Boston reportedly told detectives she used the phrase because it's what is in the news right now, and that she had learned of the phrase due to the United Healthcare homicide. However, Boston added that she does not own any firearms and was not a danger to anyone. She repeatedly admitted that, yeah, that's exactly what I said, but I didn't mean anything by it. Well, you don't get to pull that back after you say it. Are you kidding me? This is the cops. These are the cops. The cops don't realize that they're also going to be denied health care as soon as they get sick.
Oh, that'll be hilarious.
That would be
Chief
hilarious.
Pigham's here. When Chief Pig here finds out he's not getting a new heart for it.
Based on Boston statements, investigators say they believed she meant to threaten the insurance company by using the United Healthcare CEO's homicide to her advantage. How? By underhandedly getting her insurance company to cover legitimate medical treatments? What a sneak.
Yeah, we should probably ban that book that the phrase is taken from that they're not mentioning. The wacky book about what insurance companies do. This is the most bipartisan united thing I've seen in America
ever
since after 9/11.
Boston was charged with threats to conduct a mass shooting or an act of terrorism. That's what she was charged with. So they could make anything, just like I said. Find me the man and I'll find you the crime. They're just inventing ways to make you a terrorist now. She's now being threatened with being a terrorist. So as soon as Barack Obama signed the law that said you can lock up anybody indefinitely if they're considered a terrorist, I'm like, well, now everything's going to be considered terrorism. The #1 terrorist, eco-terrorism. So if you protest a pipeline or anything, you're considered an eco-terrorist. If you spread misinformation on the internet, you're called a cyber terrorist. So now they don't have to, you lost all your rights now.
Stochastic
Now you're in healthcare
violence.
ISIS. Oh,
What's that?
stochastic. Is that what you said?
Yeah. My client is 42, married mother of 3, never had any criminal charges or convictions. May you release her on her own recognizance, her attorney Jim Headley said to the judge during the first appearance in court. However, the judge set her bond at $100,000, stating, I do find that the bond of $100,000 is appropriate considering the status of our country at this point.
Oh my
They're trying to make
God.
a Rwanda. They're trying to make a new Rwanda with this. They're trying to make it because the level of anger of hearing this is like,
yes.
I don't want to get picked up for the things I think about.
Gwen B with LC says, I once had a man email me a map to my home and threaten a whole lot of harm and property damage. The police told me there was nothing they could do about the threats until he acted on them. It was just talk until then. So I got to ask, why is Breonna Boston in jail? Because the cops are there to protect corporations and capital, not to actually provide you with security. They don't work for the citizens. They work for the capitalists who own the government. That's why.
And by the way, Jimmy, individually they may want to protect you, but they're not allowed.
They're not
Kamala
allowed.
Harris says you got to go to jail because your daughter was sick and had an excuse from school, the cops then, as that woman said, they go, well, take it up with Kamala Harris.
That's right.
So the cops don't have a choice neither. Like, it don't matter how they feel about it. They're an employee slave.
The cops
just like
don't
you.
work for you, just like the politicians don't work for you. Your government doesn't work for you. Nobody
Even
works
your
for you.
insurance that you paid for doesn't work for you.
The insurance you paid for doesn't work for you. So this is Sheila Zonur, I think. She's a Fort Lauderdale-based defense attorney who's popular on TikTok.
Last year, I had to get a restraining.
Let's watch. Turn it up a little.
Last year, I had to get a restraining order for a man because his wife was trying to him. He called the police multiple times. They wouldn't do anything about it. She was putting rat poison in his food. He was getting sick after he'd eat. And he was going out, like he made a practice of like stepping outside in the middle of dinner, smoking a cigarette, and then coming back. And he was getting sick. And so he noticed one time when he came back from smoking a cigarette that there was something blue in his food. It's rat poison. He didn't know it at the time, but he saw that there was something blue in his food that shouldn't have been there. Nephew calls the police. Police are like, well, call us next time when you have food. Happens again. They still have the food. They call the police. Saran wrapped the bowl. Can you test this? They're like, no. Of course, these are people who've watched TV, like, CSI, things like that. And they're just like, then why'd you want us to fucking keep the food? They thought they were going to go and take it to the lab and test it and find out what it is. They shrugged their shoulders. They didn't give a fuck. So the nephew gets him these little cameras, sets up cameras around the house. I have footage of this woman. When he goes out to smoke a cigarette, she runs out of another room, has a folded up napkin, sprinkles something from that napkin onto his food, stirs it real quick, and then runs back. We presented the police with this video footage. Get a restraining order against your wife who lives in the house with you. They wouldn't arrest her. I had to get a restraining order against the woman, and she had to move out of the house to keep him safe. And the judge in that hearing, when she granted a permanent restraining order and ordered her to leave the fucking house, she made a finding on the record that this woman was attempting to murder her husband. And the police still wouldn't arrest her, and the state attorney's office still wouldn't file charges. So you tell me why this woman in Florida who was on the phone with her insurance company arguing over a denied claim, out of frustration, she says, deny, defend, depose, you people are next in the same fucking day. The henchman for the ruling class showed up at her fucking door and arrested her. That was a rhetorical question. You don't have to answer that because we know. They arrested her, and I watched. This is a woman who has no weapons. This is a woman who's never been in trouble a day in her life. This woman is at her bond hearing, and the judge is clutching his pearls, and the prosecutor's clutching her pearls, or his pearls, and they fucking set $100,000 bond, and the prosecutor says, and if she is able to post the bond, we need GPS monitoring, pretrial release, home confinement. Pending trial, she is going to be confined to her home because she said, deny, defend, depose, you people are next, with no apparent ability to carry out this threat. You can be my client's wife and actually take overt action against your husband in efforts to try to kill him, and even have a judge make a ruling that you were in fact trying to kill him, and they won't take that threat seriously. But this lady who is frustrated and arguing with some fucking zombie on the other end of the line and says some shit out of frustration, they take that threat very seriously. And this is the best part of what the prosecutor said. They need her on home confinement to keep the community safe. You know the community is perfectly safe, you lying sack of fucking disingenuous shit. The community's safe. The community is safe. The community's not safe from you, though, because you will be a good little foot soldier for your fucking overlords. This is bullshit. She wasn't going to do anything, but you see how fast they move. You see how fast they make thought crimes. Better not even think bad things about the insurance companies. Better not even think about it. Even if you have no ability to carry it out, you better not think about it. We're all in agreement, right? We fucking hate it here.
Yeah, I'm sure that'll cut down on the anger and threats too. That
yes.
way of handling it.
And so here, just to let you know, Joe Biden, corporate whore extraordinaire, he doesn't work for you. He just pardoned a judge who got caught taking bribes to send kids to jail. Kids. Right. He took $2.1 million in kickbacks to imprison juveniles. He got caught. They sent him to jail.
That's trafficking.
Joe Biden is letting him, he's commuting his sentence. Why? Because Joe Biden works for the prison industrial complex. He's the one who made sure all the black and brown people are in jail for the same crimes Hunter committed, smoking crack. But he didn't pardon any of those people, but he pardoned his own kid. And he pardoned the judge who illegally took money to imprison people. That's who Joe Biden, he's decent. Remember that asshole who's the host of Weekend
Colin.
Update on Saturday Night Live said he's voting for decency?
Man.
Joe Biden's a decent man who's funding a genocide and letting judges out of jail who imprisoned children.
Well, $2.1 million is pretty decent for a payout just for selling some kids. That's decent.
These people
decent
are the most indecent people, especially a guy who's the host of Saturday Night Live's Weekend Update. What a slide we've made since Norm Macdonald. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy's a piece of garbage. And so is Joe Biden. And so is the sheriff who locked that woman up. And so is the insurance companies. But guess what? They run the country. You don't. The politicians don't run the country. They all work for the oligarchy. And that's what this is all about. What did you want to say, Kurt?
I forget. I'm
all right. Over to Steph.
looking back rage right now.
Right. No kidding. Okay, here we go. Goo81, thank you so much. I did not realize Syrians speak very good British English on CNN. What a joke. Nico, again, January 6th blueprint. Better than Berlin, August 29th, 2020, RFK Jr. spoke at massive COVID protests. Unrelated protesters waved flags at Reichstag stairs. Media ready to distract, focused on them over RFK's speeches. Vienticus, personally, I'm upset there are not more reference to the 1975 movie Rollerball. Speaking of movies, when are you going to watch Jones Plantation? Here's money. Watch it. Jones Plantation. Oh, it sounds such like a happy holiday film, right? Vienticus Prime, thank you so much. NG Hermit, going on a first date. Oh, I read that first. I want to hear how that's going to roll. Goo81, this is the same joke journalist called out on her nonsense regarding Gaza, where she laid on the ground that we were under attack while Israelis are walking on the road behind her. And we showed that one, right, Goo? Jimmy and crew. Juke 3S, Jimmy and crew, your journalism hurt. Know how hard it is to convince a plump, well-groomed Syrian producer to pretend he came out of a coma and last to know and freed from a prison by CNN crew? Thank you. M_war. So what Bill Gates is saying is he recycles his own farts. Thank you for the clarification.
Yeah, into your mouth. You don't have to take it.
Ham hock carbon offsets. They are Catholic absolutions of our times. Ham hock. Leviticus. Sound effect. You have to check out Jim Corsetti on his channel Bright Insight. The WEF has purchased and halted excavation on the world's oldest megalithic site, Göbekli Tepe, Thank you, Leviticus. We'll
What?
look into that.
What? Look
Oh,
into.
it's hard to go back
Okay.
when you do
All
that,
right.
but I can. I'll find it in a
All
moment.
right, come back to me.
All right, back to Jimmy.
So here, American Values tweets out this video. It says, watch, Clinton Insider exposes how Big Pharma silences critics. Big corporations hire people like me to implement the playbook. RFK Jr. is their latest target. They're determined to keep him out of Washington, D.C. The same tactics are used against Elon Musk, Joe Rogan, and Tulsi Gabbard. And they did the same thing to Ralph Nader. Let's watch this video. Here we go.
Powerful corporations and partners in the media have a playbook they use on you when you beat them too much, and in areas you can cost them real money. Pharma was apparently beyond reproach, and when Bobby questioned them, his adoring press turned faster than the weather in Texas.
What generally happens with people like me is when we're done with the trench warfare of campaigns, which is low-paying and grueling work, big corporations hire people like me to come inside and implement the playbook. And here's the way the playbook works. First, they attack you broadly and they question your facts. They say you're lying and it's ferocious. But if you keep on moving after that, they move on to character assassination. They take on who you are as a person. They dig up everything bad in your past and leak it to the press. If you had a fender bender, you're a reckless driver. If you paid a bill late, you're a deadbeat, and so on and so on. Every part of your life goes under their microscope. They try to embarrass you. They try to make you say this fight isn't worth what it's costing me, and you quit. But if that doesn't stop you, and it stops most people, but it didn't stop Bobby, they say you're a liar. If liar doesn't work, they say you're an anti-Semite and a racist. Crazy or kook or crank or nut job are their mainstays. That's their nuclear option. Because if they can get everyone to dismiss you as a wacko nut job, everything you say is suspect. And then they can get back to selling whatever thing it is you said might not be safe. And here's the thing, it works. Like damn near 100% of the time it works. If all the publications and TV shows you trust tell you someone's a crazy person, they must be a crazy person, right? This is New York Magazine in 1995. This is New York Magazine in 2023. This is Vanity Fair in 2006. This is Vanity Fair in 2023. This is Rolling Stone in 1992. This is Rolling Stone in 2023. Standing up to them exacts a real cost, and that's why they do it.
I lost the relationships that I'd built over maybe 50 years of life. I had close friends who just told me they couldn't be my friend anymore.
So now that you know the playbook, you can recognize it and decide for yourself. Visit av24.org/playbook to learn more.
So all I can say is I'm glad I'm not that brave. And
well, I mean,
now that you know
they
the
did do that to you.
They did do that to me, actually, but not as bad as him. But yeah, they did that. I've had all the smear pieces written about me.
I've had it happen to me before I even met you. I've had this happen to me. It always struck me. All this stuff was like, what am I running for office? Why am I being trashed as if there's a campaign trying to dig up dirt on me? Like, I don't have to be elected to my job. I just do my job. But he just said that's what it is. It's called the playbook. Sounds worse than the Putin playbook, if you ask me.
I've had people I've known all my life, people I've known in comedy for 30 years.
Well,
won't talk to me anymore, slander me on social media on the regular, smear me. Won't ever have a conversation with me about anything. But they will go on.
Losers.
They will go on social media and slander me in the most disgusting ways.
Well, what, on Facebook? That is disgusting. Who goes on Facebook?
Who goes on Facebook? That is disgusting. So now that you know the playbook, is Cheryl Hines the greatest woman on earth? Well, second greatest. And so anyway, it's just
I thought the greatest woman on earth was that trans health official who looks like Mitch McConnell in drag.
Yeah. Imagine what they would do to RFK if you actually went after Israel.
I mean, they're calling him anti-Semitic, and the guy is
Yeah.
pro-Israel, I would say, to a fault.
The problem is that the worst criminals in the world are the ones who own the prison.
Yeah.
So That's the playbook. That's what happened to Bobby Kennedy. That's what happens to everybody. That's what happened to Julian Assange. That's what happened to Russell Brand. They did a similar thing to me, but I'm not going to compare what happened to me to what happened to Russell or what happened to Bobby, but it happened. It happened to Kurt. It happened. I was threatening the Democratic Party's reason for people to stay in the Democratic Party, the Progressive Caucus, and I was exposing them as frauds. As I exposed, and it was real, and they didn't know what to do. AOC accused me of stochastic violence
for suggesting her plan. That you got her inspiring plan that you liked and had her on as a result.
Yeah. Okay, over to Steph.
All right, I just saw this. Sage Rager said, they matured Jimmy.
They matured me.
Matured. Thank you,
Grievously
Sage.
matured.
Matured. Thank you for that one. I thought I unsubscribed from Broken Points after I started listening to you 2 years ago. Guess I was wrong. Wonder how much hair dye that bought Kyle. AJ. Thank you, AJ. Hannah, sir, recommending Dr. Alice Miller. Thank you for the recommendation. Oh, this is Juck.
I don't think it's dye. I think it crystal queefs in his hair.
Juck said, or Juke3 US, it's difficult to convince an audience and one's own self it would work. By the way, I'm looking for a job. Signed, CNN director guy. Thank you. Espana, Anthem just refused to pay for the last infusion of my MS medication I received in August because I no longer meet the disease criteria. So I can't be on it anymore because I'm not getting worse. Wow. Espana. Don't threaten them. Sparky, I charged the Jimmy Dore show with scientific heresy like the original Planet of the Apes. Thank you, Sparky. Notice Bill Gates tell is when he taps his foot while telling you the trees don't capture carbon.
That's right.
That's right.
That is his tell.
Thank you, Funky. Hemcar, I heard Obama say he can go hard on pasta with red sauce. I heard pasta means boys and sauce means orgy. What is red sauce, Hemcar?
I mean, does it? I never heard that.
F.Ari, sorry to interrupt the show, but there are UFOs above Bucks County, Pennsylvania, zigzagging and zipping through the sky. Photos, video, please.
It's Iran. It's not UFOs. It's an Iranian mothership. And a guy on Fox News heard it from a very reliable source.
Right. Probably 17 intel officials. I wonder if all these drones aren't just distractions from Luigi Mangione thing. I wouldn't be surprised if Luigi Mangione winds up being the spark that starts actual revolution.
Okay, those things are before him. That's before you heard the Luigi Mangione news. That's been going on for quite a while, and they've been reporting about these drones nonstop. I think it's like some kind of weird thing to get something with Iran, crisis initiation with Iran, which is a dream of a lot of people.
Yeah, we covered that the other day. Hear about the guy arrested for trying to put out a fire in his own house?
No.
A grand jury was convened to indict the man, but wound up indicting the cop. Small miracles. Vienticus Prime, thank you. All right, I read that one from Espana. All right, this is the one you wanted to hear me read earlier, Jimmy. You have to check out Jim Cressetti on his channel, Bright Insight. The WEF has purchased and halted excavation on the world's oldest megalithic site, Göbekli Tepe.
Why have they stopped that, Kurt? Have you heard anything?
A lot of tourism, and you could just keep the mystery going for as long as possible of what it could be.
Well, they say so. It's way older than they say it is. That's the thing, right? It's way old. So they give us this thing that, you didn't start building shit till 10,000 years ago, but this was built before that. And it's intricate.
That's dangerous. What you're saying is dangerous.
Right?
Graham Hancock, danger.
Grasshopper 21 free on Tubi, and it is Jones Plantation. Thank you, Grasshopper, for that. All All right. Oh, hold on. Are you looking for something fun to do? Huh? Are you? And because we've got some shows for you folks. We've got Atlantic City. We have Providence, Cohoes, and Magoobies. Go to the tours on our website, jimmydore.com. What's up, Jim?
We should add a show in January at Two Roads because those other two are sold out, right?
Right.
Why don't we do that?
Okay.
As soon as they sell out, we should add another show.
All right. Well, it's just because it's schedules. That's all.
Okay.
Yeah, that's all. You know?
All right. Kurt, where are you?
The other one would be a week after if we do that one. It just so you have the 28th and then you would have the 4th because then you're out of town, I think.
Well, we leave town on Saturday.
Okay. So let me see.
We'd have to do it on a Friday.
On a Friday. Okay. All right. Okay. So, you waiting for Kurt right now?
Yeah.
I'm out of chats.
All right, here we go.
All right.
So guess what? Gavin Newsom has found another way to get people to leave California. He makes it look. It's hard to get people to leave this place. It's a beautiful state. Beautiful
Is he building
oceans.
a homeless state?
No.
Is that what he wants?
I think he wants to get everybody to move out and then charge them twice as much when they move back. I don't know. It sounds crazy, but it just might work. So now they're putting in cameras to catch people speeding on the freeway. And you could get up to a $500 fine.
He calls this Trump-proofing the state.
This is true. Yeah.
I don't know how that does that.
By the way, this article is from last September. Now, September 2023, they passed the law and it's about to go into effect.
Nice. How do you give a fine to illegal immigrants speeding? Because
right,
it's like New York. You get an offender bender. It's a constant problem. You get hit parked by some guy in a white van who's not there legally, so he speeds off, and you're screwed. Happens a lot.
Governor Newsom wasn't quite popular enough, and that's why it's like he had to add this to the list of reasons why people are hemorrhaging out of California, like it was a screening of Wicked.
People, I mean, I think that recall, I bet he really did get recalled because I don't see how he could be that popular. But a lot of people are dumb enough to like him because he's handsome and his hair.
So that is true. The state of Cal legislature approved Assembly Bill 645, which allows 6 cities, including San Francisco, Los Angeles, Glendale, Long Beach, and one other. Or 2 others. I can't. Oakland and San Jose. To install speed cameras. Priority locations for cameras will include areas near schools, high injury networks, and known street racing corridors. Isn't it amazing that all of a sudden there's an explosion of street racing? It's almost like they needed that so they could pass this stupid thing. And this is how they're going to make money. They're going to squeeze it out of you with cameras. And if you
serve and collect.
And if you think you can get an app that's going to warn you of where a speed camera is, they will also track your car, I bet you any money, to see how fast you go from one camera to the next.
They track you on foot doing that. It's called geofencing.
Really?
Oh, listen, they're tracking you. Everybody except, unless, like I said, you snuck in illegally, then you have total privacy.
Supporters of the bill cite research by the nonprofit Streets Are For Everyone, indicating that speed is the single largest factor behind all crashes in LA, where traffic fatalities are at an all-time high, according to the LAPD. What
speed? There's traffic nonstop. You can't.
200 people. So I'm really supposed to. I have to accept that once again that the politicians care about 200 people a year. You really think they care about 200 people? There's hundreds of thousands of people homeless in California.
Yeah.
Half of which who have jobs. They don't think they care about people.
Oh, this is to make you not drive. This is all that stuff to make it so you can't drive. You know, they want you not to drive.
Yes.
That's what the electric car thing and this is all to make it not worth the hassle to drive a car.
And so Assembly person Laura Friedman co-authored the bill, says the speed cameras have been proven effective at slowing down drivers and reducing collisions where they have been used, like in New York City. I got news for you. The thing that slows down drivers in New York City is the potholes.
Huh.
And also, it didn't work in New York City. Those cameras were busted. And there's a lot of stories about how what a disaster that was in New York City. That's crazy to mention it like it was a great thing.
And you know what else slows down the cars in New York City? The random guy who's drinking and peeing, who just appears out from in between two parked cars.
Well, it's New York. They would hit that guy. In New York, I took cabs a lot. I didn't have a car there. And it's people from a lot of countries, not necessarily illegal, but from countries that have zero traffic laws. So they drive crazy. And so then they'll stop the car to get in a fight sometimes. They'll just crash the car. It's actually pretty wild that they think that's the problem, is all the speeding.
To the critics who say that the traffic enforcement cameras are just cash grabs for agencies looking at more revenue from tickets, she explains that this program is designed specifically so that the proceeds are used first to pay for and keep up the cameras.
Yeah.
What?
Right. Invest it back in the business. I get it.
Oh, I'm sure. And any extra money would go to traffic-related improvements in the cities they are installed in, with an emphasis on safety issues. Oh, I'm sure that's exactly what there's no way in hell they're going to take that money and give it to, I don't know, the open border immigrants coming in. That would be crazy talk.
No, well, what she said, it's kind of veiled, but what that means is an emphasis on safety issues. That's the same reason you take away people's gun rights.
That's
or
right.
Rights.
That's right. It's for you.
Rights?
It's whenever the authority figures say they're doing this for your own good. That there's no, they're gonna make traffic related improvements, none of which are going to be involved in repairing the roads. I bet, right?
No, you not driving. The improvement is you won't. Be able
you
to
won't
drive.
be able to drive.
It'll be too expensive.
The director of Streets Are for Everyone says taking program management away from law enforcement deals with other critics who claim that the agencies abuse the extra power of issuing tickets. How much are the tickets? Well, the first one is a warning. After that, penalties are 50, 100, 200, and $500 for exceeding the speed limit by 11 miles per hour, 16 miles per hour, or 26 miles per hour over 100. Really? This is like shit liberal paradise in California.
Oh, the U.S. Department of Transportation is who pays this group.
Because you're kidding.
Yeah, it's the first thing that popped up.
This is shit liberal paradise because they couch everything as that it's for your own good.
Yeah, so
you have to. We're sending the cops out to stop a guy from surfing for his own good during COVID.
We're sanding the skate parks.
Yeah, we're dumping sand into the skate parks for your own good. Stay home, eat Doritos, get fat. And and then kill yourself. It's for your own good.
Kamala's doing.
So the California Senate, this is from August of this year, they passed a bill to put speed cameras on Pacific Coast Highway in Malibu. The California Senate passed a bill that it authorized Senator by Ben Allen and Assembly blah 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 for the state to install 5 speed cameras systems, 5 speed camera systems along the 21-mile stretch of Pacific Coast Highway that passes through Malibu. I'm not interested in punishing people, he said. I'm interested in... Oh, really? So for me, it's not about giving out tickets. For me, it's about getting people to slow down. Get the fuck out of here.
Why do people believe in any part of this anymore? Like any part of the government or any... I mean, how do you...
That's like a car dealer.
How are you that hypnotized?
It's like a car dealership saying, this isn't about selling cars. It's about getting strangers to drive around for a while and talk to them before they drop it off again. I'm not in this for the money, really.
Yeah.
Allen and Irwin said the cameras will be placed in areas that recorded the most speed-related collisions and fatalities. The community called on lawmakers to increase safety along the highway for several years. The demands grew exponentially after 4 Pepperdine students were killed in October of 2023. The driver charged with the deadly crash was going 104 miles per hour in a 45 zone and slammed into them. In 2023, there were 220 crashes on the stretch of PCH from Ventura County line to McClure Tunnel in Santa Monica. 3 of the crashes killed 7 people, including the 4 students. Another 93 crashes resulted in injuries. SB 1297 represents a critical step forward in our ongoing effort to make Malibu safer for everyone who travels along the Pacific Coast Highway, said Mayor Doug Stewart. Okay, here's more. San Francisco sets launch date for new speed cameras. Here's how much of it they're doing it in San Francisco. San Francisco's transportation agency has approved a contract. Oh, really? There's a contract involved? Of course. And they've established fines and set a date to introduce 33 speed cameras across the city as part of a pilot program. They have a contract with Vera Mobility. So of course there's money, there's profit. There's profit in it. I wonder if Vera Mobility donated to any council members to pass this. It's a traffic technology firm based in Arizona. Isn't this nice? Isn't that nice? The agency said it plans to roll out the cameras in February, more than a year after Governor Newsom signed the legislation allowing San Francisco, Oakland, San Jose, and 3 other cities, Long Beach, Glendale, and Los Angeles.
Oh, he's America's Justin Trudeau.
San Francisco's Vision Zero program, established in 2013, has struggled to make progress towards its goal of eliminating pedestrian deaths. The surveillance state does not give a shit about pedestrian deaths, beyond how it can be used to steer the narrative.
Yeah, well, they're watching them all the time and not doing anything.
They care about as much about us as we care about them. Just put it that way.
They want me to get ass cancer?
We are thrilled to have reached a significant milestone. Okay. Installation of these testing and cameras are scheduled to begin in December, which is right now. For the first 60 days, you're just going to get warnings. And then after that, come April, drivers exceeding, they're going to get fined. There's the fines. Jody Medeiros, executive director of Walk San Francisco, praised the program. Speed cameras are a proven tool for save lives, she says. Wow. Under current law, speed cameras are barred from using facial recognition software. Oh, really? Limiting data collection to license plates only. Really? So they're not going to take, because those red light cameras used to take your picture. Remember that? They'd take your picture. That's why I'd go through a red light camera. I'd go like this.
Yeah. Sometimes I'd swerve off the road.
Wow. So they're not gonna take pictures of your face. I don't believe them.
Great. So we all got to get fake license plates.
It's not a simple task getting people to want to leave this state. The scenery here is beautiful. Whenever a shitlib in office is excited to see their policies implemented, batten the hatches for a ride on the shit wagon to Struggleville.
Well, all their ideas are the same dumb idea, which is like some kind of tax, like a carbon tax is going to fix this climate change problem. No, it won't. You're just doing money incentives that don't really affect the thing. You just create new businesses that now are in business to just do that thing that shouldn't have been done in the first place.
Okay, that's the what? What do you got to say, Steph? You had something to say about it? Say it.
Yeah, the only thing I'm thinking of, you just reported that Gavin Newsom had just bought that home for $9 million.
Right.
So what's his kickback on something like this?
I wonder.
How does he get it? Honestly, if you look up Gavin Newsom's history, he graduated from was it Santa Clara University in '89, bachelor's degree in political science. Afterwards, he founded the boutique winery Plumpjack Group in Oakville, California, with billionaire heir, family friend Gordon Getty as an investor.
What did you just say?
That's his background. He owned a winery.
He's friends with Gordon Getty.
Yes. With Gordon Getty.
He's in some dark stuff, man. I didn't realize he was connected to, I suspected he was connected to something bad, but Getty, that's real bad.
Okay,
that's real bad.
So how is Gavin Newsom worth $25 million? The only job he's had, according to this, is how to get his money from a boutique winery? How did he get his money? That's all I wanted to say, Jimmy. Back to Jim.
No, I'm done. That's it for today for me and Kurt. Okay. Where's our dates coming up? Where are we going? We're going to Atlantic City, Baltimore, Honolulu, Cohoes, New York, Providence, Rhode Island.
That's right.
And that's all we got for right now.
Yeah.
My man Tyler's on the job.
And right now I'm just waiting to hear back for Alan for January 3rd, Friday, for that show.
Okay.
That's what you want. So we're looking for that one for another stand-up show. And all the shows that we're doing, everybody, are stand-up shows.
Yeah.
Just so you know. All right. I'm going to wrap this up. Jimmy?
What?
All right. Here.
Oh, we're doing locals? Okay, yeah, I guess we should do locals.
All right. This will take me a couple minutes, like 1 minute. Here we go. Sparky 63. Keep in mind, Israel has killed many more Americans than Iran has. Remember the USS Liberty, where Israel murdered 34 Americans alone. Just Brew. Thank you, Just Brew. Happy Dick Van Dyke's 99th birthday. Did you know that, Jimmy? 99th today for Dick Van Dyke.
Really?
The 138 is now a monthly supporter. Thank you. Another term for the type of character assassination is poisoning the well. Thank you for that one. All right, hold on. We got this one. You'll like this, Jimmy. Jimmy Corsetti, channel Bright Insight. The WEF has purchased and halted excavation of two of the world's oldest ancient sites, Göbekli Tepe and Gunung Padang, both said to be 10 to 12,000 years old. Wow. Thank you for that information. And let me see. And one more thank you. Camry King, we've had cameras like these in Australia for years. Welcome to the nanny state. No kidding. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is what we got to today. We'll be back on Monday. See you there. And you know what? Go do something nice for somebody. Why not?
We're doing what are we doing? We're doing locals, right?
Yeah, we're going to do locals. See you in a minute.